Welcome everyone to a new week of Carroll Worldwide. I'm always unsure what we're going to say, and then I get down and I write all this stuff down, and there seems to be a lot again. This one, Randy, I don't even think you picked up on, or maybe you did, but you've forgotten. An old favorite fraudster resurfaced, and I think you asked him an important question.
Our favorite
Unhandy Man.
handyman,
Handy
drunk.
don't.
The drunk guy that hangs out at the library that takes the cab to the person's house and falls asleep in their front yard.
Sounds like a good Saturday night.
Yeah, the best question to ask him is, what is your MHIC number?
So he was at it again. I think it wasn't handymanning, it was painting.
Was it?
I thought it was deck work.
Was it deck work? I don't know. He was at it again, and he got into it with some of the naysayers, and I don't know if he ever got that job, but you guys are really hurting his business by pointing out he's not licensed.
I think he also tried helping somebody who needed medical help. I think he's a doctor.
Oh.
Maybe a physician's assistant, PA. It's a big difference. Maybe he's got that down now.
Maybe he just lives instead of Pennsylvania and got confused. He's like, I'm in PA. So I was glad to see that you are diligent, and so is one of our top listeners, AR, was also diligently on that one.
Always
too,
diligent.
Yeah, always diligent trying to stomp that one out. So good job there. And then, oh man, I don't really have a great transition here, but I'm just gonna go for it. We had someone complain about a hit and run. Did you see that? Carroll County.
Was this the person?
But this wasn't really a hit and run.
But it was someone hit a deer.
It was like,
and the deer hit a kid and knocked him off the bike.
Yes.
That's complicated.
So that's like
that's like 50 points in
that's
GTA.
That's a ricochet.
That might be golden tractor crank worthy.
Because the kid wasn't hurt.
Oh, okay. Well,
the other thing is
I guess I should have
I could
asked that question.
Yeah, you could have. Carroll County hates kids.
We hate kids.
And we like to kill deer, but not with cars.
Yeah.
But the thing is I could definitely see if I've been in a car that's hit a deer before, unless there's a big thing, you just think that your car only impacted the deer's off out of the distance, you're kind of shaken up, you drive down the road and pull over. I don't think you need to pull over when you hit a deer. So if it was a ping pong ball or a double word score where the deer hit the kid, I don't know if that's even a hit and run.
The deer hit the kid. The
right.
car didn't
not
hit
the
the
car.
kid.
It's an indirect hit and run.
Right.
How does that even work? I mean, the kid had to be in pretty close proximity, right?
Riding a bike.
I can't even envision it.
So
we need your guy to do a cartoon of this.
Yeah, we do. Lance, you have a job this week.
All right, so that happened. I think it's the person.
Do we agree that wins the golden tractor crank?
Oh yeah, that wins.
It has to.
I mean, I think that it just depends on the circumstance. So the person saw it hit the kid and run away. That's bad. But if they didn't know, I think it's reasonable. Right? You don't need to stop your car if you hit a wild animal.
I mean, how far did the deer fly that you wouldn't know that the deer hit something else or someone else?
There's a lot of questions, not a lot of answers.
I'm very confused. It does seem a little, it warranted probably a stop and a help the kid. What was the kid on a bike or something?
Well, if you knew they hit the kid, definitely. But do you know that? You don't always.
I'm really hoping that the person who hit the deer didn't know that the deer then subsequently hit a kid. I'm really hoping that's the case.
Did the deer fly through the air?
Maybe the deer
If the deer flies through the air and no one's there to see it.
Maybe the deer was just mad and just picked the kid up and slapped him. It's this is your species' fault.
We know it was a silver Nissan and the front was all messed up. So
are the pitchforks out for this person? Is that what is going on online?
I didn't even read the comments. Was it on, where was it, on Carroll County Times?
Shocking.
No, it wasn't. It was on one of the community groups, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, community group. I think it was outside the hospital. It happened.
Well, that's convenient.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but deers don't get treated at hospitals. Deer, singular.
Maybe yours don't.
And then Westminster's a bustling, hustling place. We always have stuff happening. Wawa is getting remodeled, so all of our people who need grab and goes, get and goes, they're remodeling. Okay, so be on the lookout. And Johansson's is doing a remodel soon.
Right, they're going to be closed for a month or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting.
Go to the group Carroll County Eats and get all the details on that.
All right, so just be aware.
Does that include Down Under as well? Is that getting a remodel?
I think Down Under is separate, and
that's
Down Under
possible.
should never be remodeled.
I don't think it should. The sticky on the floor is just at the right level right now.
The layers of alcohol, sadness, shame, and unwanted pregnancies are just the perfect
Yes.
level that
Don't forget the sweat.
Yeah, you don't want the ambiance ruined by something new like that.
The organic material, we'll call it.
Thirsty Thursdays.
More ways than one.
Thirsty Thursdays were east west, right? You have like the college kids and the local denizens really coming together and celebrating something.
Smells like daddy issues.
Well, we had those before the show started too. So, all right, Randy, you had a bunch of stuff here too.
Well, I have a surprise sponsor.
What?
Yeah.
We need to go get sponsors again. What's wrong
We
with
do.
us?
We have a very high listenership, so we need to get
That's true. We're there. We made it. We've reached our first goal.
right. Well, our sponsor is a community group. No joke. The Westminster Online Light.
Who will watch the Watchers?
Exactly. Westminster Online Light. Everybody join that group if you're interested in the goings on in Westminster. They are our sponsor in the wake of the tragedy of losing Westminster Online Light 2.0, which has been shut down by Facebook. That was the one that was described as the venereal disease of the internet.
Oh.
And the virtual penicillin has been applied, and they are no longer. Gone the way of Eldersburg Online Community, off the air.
Oh no. Well.
Oh well.
So all we have to do
Cue
is
the static.
every time new community group gets destroyed, someone sponsors us.
An angel gets their wings.
Wow. Wow. I mean, so the biggest news of the week, I didn't say at first because I feel like everyone that cares would be waiting for it. But I think this is I would say the most comments I've ever seen on a single post.
Ever.
Ever. Randy, I think you're the one who noticed it first.
Did I?
Well, I'll credit you.
Okay. Well, all I know is, and I think that this isn't as one-sided as it was meant to come across. The poster made a reservation at a local Italian restaurant in Hampstead
Okay.
that is known for their crab cakes.
Okay.
And
it's not Ilyana's J&P.
it is not any of the Ilyano family-owned places.
Don't mess with those people.
No, they're nice. He made a reservation. He went in to get seated, and he wasn't seated for, I think, about 45 minutes.
Oof.
So he demanded to speak to the owner, and the owner said, "Look, we got other people ahead of you, and you're not going to get seated right away." Now, here's where the guy messed up. He said, and he admitted he said this. He said, "I don't care about the other people. I want to get seated." And then the owner,
Well, that's the nature of a reservation, though.
yes, and that happened to me also for Valentine's Day.
At the same place?
Yes, same place. It took me.
That happened to me on my birthday at that same place.
Yeah, you get the reservation, but you don't get seated at the reservation time. That is a problem.
Well, that's called call ahead seating, and you're normally told that's call ahead seating, and that's different than a reservation.
No, this was a reservation.
Well, apparently that establishment doesn't know what a reservation
Yes,
is,
they don't know the difference. Okay, I gotcha.
or they don't care, or whatever.
So the owner apparently told the host or hostess, "Do not seat these people." Ripped the little beeper thing out of the guy's hand, out of the patron's hand, the poster's hand, and walked away. That digs balls.
Well, I mean, I think the guy doesn't lack for that kind of stuff, but what happened then was a torrential downpour where essentially everyone in the world had a bad story that they hadn't bothered to share it because the food's pretty well regarded, and so is the place in general.
It wasn't about the service. It wasn't about the food. It was all about that one guy who did the ripping of the beeper out of the hand.
Yeah, it was the owner. Is
Yeah.
the problem. Yes.
And it wasn't about, it was all lots of echoing sentiments that we just said, like reservations that were ignored, lots of mistreatment of staff, mistreatment of patrons, and just like a really terrible picture. And the thing that normally what happens is, and we often talk about the cycle that these posts go through where like the worm turns and then you get
It didn't turn.
It
No,
did not turn.
It did not turn. It was
No.
95% bashing the restaurant. And the guy went to the owner first, so he followed all the rules.
Yes.
He did.
He
Yes,
earned,
followed the
he
rules.
earned his post.
He did.
Congratulations.
Earned his post, and he was rewarded by having like essentially universally supporting the overall position that this place was bad. And it was mind blowing. I've never seen a tsunami. And the thing is, it's not. It's a sort of like there's sometimes where there are places that are open and they have like 2.9 stars on Google and like everyone talks about how bad they are and you like show up and it's bad and you're like, well, what did you expect? That's not this place at all. They have good reviews. Their food is pretty good, locally understood to be, and they just got roasted for most of this week. And not only that, they post on Facebook and they were tagged in this and they said nothing.
Here's why this happened. Here's why the worm did not turn, and the guy followed through 100% on support. He followed our rules.
He did.
Oh, yeah, that's it. It's our rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our rules did it, I'm sure.
Listen to us, people.
Yeah, I got to tell you, when I first read that, I thought, oh, this guy, who does he think he is?
The poster.
Yes, the poster. Who does he think he is? Like, I take this stuff very personally.
Right. Well, you're on the receiving end.
I'm on the receiving end of a lot of this stuff.
And for 10 5-star reviews probably don't undo the sting of a 1-star.
No, they don't.
It's not the nature of the beast.
No, it's because, even though you want to separate yourself from it, you do take it very personally when that's your business and that's your family and that's your livelihood.
Right.
So I'm reading this and I'm thinking, oh, this guy, he thinks he's so special and he doesn't care about anybody else. But then when all these people started unloading, and I've never been to this particular place, but I've also never heard anything but great things about this particular place. But I thought, this is not a coincidence.
No.
That all these people are saying this, like this, and
Randy and I just echoed it.
Yeah, people are like saying, like the servers and things are saying, like, yeah, oh, this is true.
Oh, that's.
Oh yeah, the employees were saying it too.
And the employees then chimed in. Ex-employees chimed in and said they had been mistreated. They had been, I think, effectively harassed.
Yeah.
I would say harassed.
Yes.
And and then there were patrons that had basically said, we witnessed these kinds, not necessarily like a one-to-one link up, but basically saying like, the narrative around it is just totally toxic. I just haven't seen, like, I was watching it, I'm like, okay, let's switch things around. Like, let's say people actually think we're an expert. What do you do if you're the business and this is happening to you? This level of tsunami, right? You've got to, and he's the owner.
Tough one.
You got to take a look in the mirror and say, I've got a big problem here.
Yeah, I think he absolutely needs to take a long look at
But
himself.
I don't think he's the kind of guy.
I have a theory.
But
What's your
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
The man in the mirror?
Past, present, and future theory that maybe he got so complacent and resting on his laurels because they cornered the Italian food market in the area. And they had a constant crowd. They didn't need the business. They didn't need this one guy's business who was, in his perspective, starting trouble. But what they don't realize is there's an undercurrent of a competitor right here on Main Street that has excellent. There's actually a couple here on Main Street that are providing excellent.
So many people made those comments
Right.
about those particular restaurants. Like, don't even bother going to there. Why, when you can go here or here?
Right, unless it's in super close proximity and you live in Manchester or Hampstead and don't feel like driving down here. But if you're here, there's kind of no more reason to go up there if you have the other places here.
I don't.
One of whom was one of our sponsors, Mediterraneo.
Is it your experience that people in Westminster are going to Manchester or Hampstead to eat anyway?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I've heard of people going up there.
Well, I mean, I've
up there to
heard. I'm
eat.
not saying it's impossible. I just don't think it typically. I don't think the traffic flows that way. I think that Manchester, Hampstead. I almost called it Hampchester, Manstead.
Either works.
I think if they're leaving the area, they're as likely to go to Reisterstown as they are
What?
here.
Oh, probably. Yeah, there's some great restaurants in
And
Reisterstown.
Route 30's just like zips you right over there.
Glendon, yeah, there's some great restaurants over there.
yeah,
so-
but I think maybe people who go to the same 5 restaurants around here every weekend want to change the scenery and go somewhere
Well,
else.
I mean, you and I did, obviously, and we experienced the same thing. Like, it was a literal reservation. I waited an hour and a half with, like, an infant, and I'm like, this is the worst birthday setup I could have possibly envisioned, because my dad had said we should just go get Five Guys right next door, and I wish I had done it, because he's always that guy.
What about the
But I'm
burger?
like, it's a reservation, so it's like, how long could it be?
You went and got Five Guys, but what about the burger place?
Well, we just
Oh, Randy.
stay in the family here, you know.
Randy.
But I just think it's gonna be a big problem for them, bigger than they expect.
Well, and you know what they tell you, and back to your original question, they tell you online, they coach you not to react in a negative way to negative press. So I'm not sure what they could possibly do online per se. I'm not sure. I think maybe not reacting to the post is probably the correct call.
Really? You think you just
Yes.
weather that storm?
Yes, I think you weather that storm and you start internally and you start fixing things at home in the actual shop and you move from there and you move on from there, because I don't think there's anything that they could have said that would have stopped that pitchfork raging lynching mob.
Well, what I would have done in that situation, I think, is I would have gone on Facebook Messenger and messaged the person and say, I'm really sorry about your experience. Do you have time for a phone call?
Well, maybe a private conversation is appropriate,
Right.
but not a public one.
And then what I would have done is, if the phone call went well, I would have followed up with another Facebook message and said, I'm really glad we had this phone call. And if I had done some sort of rectification, I would have confirmed it in that message and then the thing back. And then I would have said, once the thing blows over, put a post up. This thing happened. There's not saying it was right, but here's what we did to make it right as a follow-up. That's what I would do.
You know what else could happen?
But I'm also not in that kind of industry. I'm in a different sort of field.
What else can happen is they could do nothing, and the whole thing will be forgotten about 2 weeks from now.
Oh no, we're
Because
gonna bring it up.
That usually happens when
But
somebody gets bad press.
But this is like a Category 5 storm.
It is. I still think that by mid-July it'll be forgotten about and business will be high.
I'm so twisted that it actually had the opposite effect on me. I'm like, I got to go up there and see what this dude is all about and see if this is actually true.
You know what P.T. Barnum said?
Oh, yeah, there's no such thing as bad press.
Right.
I believe that. I do. I believe that.
So you think this is a boon for them?
I don't know. I'm in my my morbid little way. I kind of want to go up there and be like, I want to see this guy in action.
If I were them, I would just stop taking reservations.
Yeah.
You can just
That'll solve one problem.
Reservations are not expected anymore. Like, it's stupid because it's like real kind of middling places, like chains kind of started that with like those like chains where you pay lots of money to eat. Where you just part of the allure is there's always a line. But it's definitely true. Like, places just don't take reservations, and I don't think you're going to lose out a lot of business, but then you just don't even have that friction point. But still, it's all hearsay, but having read the hearsay, I think it's bigger than like a one-time fix, right? It's not just like, oh, there's this one thing. There's probably like a systemic issue that'll never be sorted out because of the nature of business ownership.
Yeah, but I think the 6-month-long net result will be nothing. I mean,
probably not.
Yeah, look at Abercrombie and Fitch. Whenever you go to a mall, there's plenty of people shopping there.
Oh, of course. Yeah, nobody even remembers that anymore.
Except for maybe you and me.
I don't remember it at all. What are you even talking about?
Yep.
No,
About 5 years ago, the head guy, the CEO, said, we don't want any ugly or unhappy people shopping here. Any fat or ugly people can go somewhere else.
Honest to God.
But
I think it picked up their business.
if I
Everybody was like, oh, I'm attractive.
They were
I
rare-
should be shopping
But publicly
here.
traded, I don't know if they're publicly traded, but massive companies like that are also, I think, a little different than like a more local business. I think they just trade on a different scale.
Okay, but it's like a microcosm. I think the same mentality is going to happen, and I think people on social media have very short attention spans.
Well, yeah, I agree, but
We can disagree on that. I think the net result will be
Goldfish.
nothing.
I agree with you, Randy. I think the net result will be nothing.
we'll never know.
Because
will.
honestly,
How will we know?
If they go out of business.
Well, there's a whole gulf between going out of business and having business drop 5%.
Yeah, when that we won't know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't think the thing
and 5% you could attribute to anything.
Right, I don't think that the business is going to go belly up. But I mean, I just don't know. It's just like uncharted territory. The amount of fervor that post had, like Westminster Online Community has 10,000 members, 693
20.
20,000.
Isn't it 20?
Okay,
It's
even
over
if,
20.
Even if it's 20,000 comments, 20,000 people, you're having like almost 1% of the entire community engaged in the conversation, and it's been witnessed by essentially everyone who logged on Facebook because it's constantly being up to the top.
And now that they're airing on this show, it's going to be 20,003. We're going to hear it.
Oh, Randy.
One more thing about this before we move on is that what goes on behind the house in the back is that tracks for me. When you talk about an owner who is verbally abusive and makes their staff feel like shit. That's pretty much every restaurant you'll ever walk in your life. It's not just specific to Carroll County. It's specific to the business. But the fact that he's bringing that out to the front of the house with the customers, I think is why this is getting so much attention, because that's when you put on your fake face and you're nice to people. But behind the scenes, there's not a restaurant in this city, in this state, in this country where the owner is not treating the staff like absolute dirt. Absolute dirt. That's the way it is.
Sounds like a terrible industry.
And well, it is. It's terrible, and it's
What's
highly stressful.
Yeah, but okay. So back it up. Why is that so universally the way it is, in your opinion?
I don't know, but as I was reading it, I'm thinking to myself, these servers aren't going to have it any better anywhere else to go to, over here or over there or whatever. I mean, I know this business. I know these people. I know what happens, and it's universally.
Is it because many of them are,
it's very stressful,
and they're all owner operators as well?
Yes, and they're owner operators. Yeah, it's very, very stressful. It's a very, very stressful way to make a living.
Well, yeah.
And you take it out on the people surrounding you when it's not your vision of perfection.
I mean, isn't that the whole Gordon Ramsay stick? Like, he's like this, like, gruff, like, mad
Right.
chef?
Yeah, but I'm sure he's not like that in the front of the house.
I mean, he might be now because he's such a caricature, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Before he was Gordon Ramsay and he was just like executive chef.
Have you guys ever, I know you worked fast food, but have you ever worked in like a restaurant where you waited tables? And
Nope.
Just fast food.
Just fast food here.
I never made the next level.
It's universal. It's universally.
I'm stuck. I gotta go back.
Being a server or a bus person or a chef or a hostess in a nicer restaurant with table service, you get abused. I mean, not physically, but emotionally and verbally abused nonstop.
I was speaking of my fast food career. I was sitting. I'd never been to an Arby's, and my friends joked about it. And I was like, "Fine, I'll go to Arby's." And I was sitting at the Arby's in town, and that used to be Long John Silver's where I worked.
Right.
And someone was in there, and it was like hearing a legend come to life. They were like, "This used to be a Long John Silver's." And I wanted to stand up and be like, "And I used to work there." But I was like, I would much rather just like observe this little anthropological artifact. And they like talked about it, and they talked about the food, and I was just like, man, I don't miss that place at all.
It's like exactly like Robert Downey Jr. Being somewhere and hearing about how great Iron Man is, and just not saying it, just keeping that silent solemnity.
It's about that. Yeah, I didn't want to big time them.
Silent pride.
Yeah, I didn't want to big time them. So, this one, speaking about food industry, someone was very angry in Sykesville about a French fry issue from Sherri's favorite national chain that's never had any problems with PR or any issue. Yeah, it's just been totally top to bottom squeaky clean.
They just, the guy apparently got 3.
I'm immediately after this comment doing my PSA for the Pride Festival, by the way. Go ahead.
The guy got like 4 ripple fries or whatever.
Potato waffle fries, trademark.
Yeah, and he posted it as if like he didn't eat them on the way home. Come on, I don't believe that for a second.
Or his girlfriend did it to him.
Girlfriends will do that.
Or boyfriends.
Kids, probably boyfriends. Whoever. I do it.
What you do what?
Oh, if I'm getting fast food, I'll start eating the fries on the way back. Who doesn't? Who among us?
If that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Exactly.
So what happened?
I don't know. I think everybody turned on that guy.
He got too few fries and bitched about it, and then everyone's like, "Why didn't you ask for more fries?" And did he follow our rules?
No, he did not follow our rules, and it didn't work out. So,
all right.
Sorry, guy.
Got to follow the rules.
Randy, we need to do a graphic about our rules for complaining.
I'll work on an infographic now.
Okay, that'll go viral.
A Venn diagram with...
No, not a Venn diagram.
It might go bacterial.
A flow chart of are you allowed to complain online?
Oh, okay, a flow chart. Okay.
Okay, we'll do
Have
this.
you spoken to the manager?
Yes.
Hey, people need...
Is Pride Fest, did you say it was on a Saturday or a Sunday?
Pride Fest.
So this is about lions, right?
Westminster, yes.
Pride Fest?
Westminster Pride Festival is on Saturday, July 13th from noon to 5.
Randy and I can't be there. We're both traveling.
I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be out of the country. But will ChickfilA have a stand there?
No, they will not.
That would be ironic, wouldn't it? Somebody should set that up like a mock
Don't even.
No.
Chick-fil-A where
You know
they
what?
sell like beef or something.
Remember I
Don't
joked
be
on the
funny.
Cow fillet.
I joked on the Slack. Someone should open a boutique catering to homosexuals called ChickfilA. Isn't that funny?
No.
Wouldn't that upset Chick-fil-A though? That'd be the whole point.
Okay, well, I mean, if it upsets them, then sure, I'm all for
They would
it.
probably
Wait.
defend their trademark.
Did you get my Canadian joke though? In Canada, it's called Chick-fil.
Yeah, because they didn't have
A?
they left
Yeah.
out the A. Yeah, I got
Anyway,
it. That was-
we're
no one else did that's listening to this podcast right now.
No, I got it. I just didn't think it was funny.
Damn.
Ouch. Anyway, yes, Westminster Pride Fest.
Yes.
Saturday, July 13th from noon to 5 on East Main Street, all the way from Church to Center.
How many vendors?
We have currently
Oh.
close to 100.
You had only 90 last week.
I
This thing keeps gaining
Is
steam.
it sold out yet?
Not yet. Still have
So
a
there's
couple
still
more
room for
spots.
vendors.
Yeah, we have a great sangria place. We have a lot of local restaurants.
That's great.
Food Chick's going to be there. Maggie's is going
Food
to be
Chic?
there.
Food Chick-fil-A?
Food chic, I said.
She's going to punch me square in the mouth.
Artisan Wine Company is going to be there. Genova's is going to be there. Birdie's Cafe will be there. It's going to be great. There's more to come. People, I'm not going to mention your name if you haven't signed up yet, so you better sign up by next week.
Oh, nice.
I saw that there were some babies crying about the parade on one of the communities.
What?
What parade?
Not the parade, the festival. I'm sorry.
The barbecue stroll?
No, her pride thing.
Oh, yeah.
What, some-
There was a guy saying he wasn't going to bring his family to be subjected to that perversion.
Well,
Because
guess what? You don't have to go.
Love is a perversion.
You don't have to go.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Some
It's-
idiot.
You know
on-
what?
It's not compulsory fun.
I'm going to go back to P.T. Barnum again. That guy did nothing but make us look so much better by making that stupid post.
It does make people, because then there's like 80 people who are
Come
yelling
to
at
our
that
defense.
person.
Yeah, so you know
Yeah.
what? Say all the ugly things you want to say. You're
One
you're
idiot-
a terrible troll and a hater.
One idiot on one of the Westminster groups posted a graphic of these statistics about how gay people contribute to like 30% of sex crimes or something. It was
Oh my God.
it was so fake that Facebook took it down.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Wow.
Good for Facebook. Thank
Yeah.
you, Facebook. Anyway, come to Pride and support people who love.
That's right. So, Randy, Eldersburg was in the news too.
This is my favorite story, and it almost requires a Judge Dennis.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
we're 27 minutes in.
you want to talk about a polarization of the comments. So this woman posted, I think on multiple groups, I think on the Eldersburg group. And
Is there any other?
No, there's the people of Eldersburg, but I don't know if she posted it on there or not. And then Sykesville Online, I think she posted it on. She had one of those like video doorbells, and some teenager was ding dong ditching her at night. So she captured a picture of the guy. It was very clear. The guy's very identifiable, and posted it and said, "Does anybody know who this is?" And some people were like, "It's good that you shame him. That's a good thing." Other people were saying, "Well, kids will be kids. Leave him alone. He's not out hurting anybody."
No, it's bothering you.
But I think there's some variables that are missing. Like if this guy had done this at like, if it were 2 a.m. and you need to get up early for work and your doorbell goes off and your dog starts barking and it's just like causes a whole ruckus and then he runs away. Yeah, shame the hell out of him. Mm-hmm. No matter what, this kid is never going to do that again.
Well, does he know he got caught?
I believe he does, because several people were like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is." It had to have gotten back to him by now.
Did it get back to his mom?
I don't know. But see, just like the story last week, you don't crank call people because it's very easy to track. It's stupid. You also don't ding dong ditch.
Yeah, you just SWAT people now.
If you see the Ring Video doorbell logo on somebody's house,
You don't do that.
Keep moving, because
Yeah.
you're going to get caught and you're going to get shamed. And I think it's hilarious.
There's
that
a
he got
lot of
shamed.
people that don't have that feature. That you can still
Technology
do.
has taken all the fun away from what we
Yeah,
used
what
to
are
do
we-
when we
Oh,
were
well.
kids.
What are we supposed to do? So, at any rate, someone else was just sick of it all, and Sherri, you've got the full quote verbatim.
Oh, yes, I do.
This is from Westminster.
I'm going to do a dramatic reading now. Thank
Oh,
you for
good.
Thank you for printing this so large so I don't even have to put my glasses
An officer and a gentleman.
Yes, okay. So this is a quote posted to all of Westminster online community.
Wait, let me set it up and then you do it.
Okay.
I think it'd be better. I'll
Okay.
I'll be the MC.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
So a woman got on one of the other Westminster online community groups and decided that she was leaving the group and wanted to make her exit very dramatic and her actions known as to what she was going to do as a follow-up. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
I'm leaving this group and will be filing a report on many people here who have treated me and others like shit with every fucking post but humor ones. Can you just see my... can you go get the manager haircut that I have? I would like to speak to the manager.
You're such a Karen right now.
I didn't know who this person was, but I I was hoping for more of a...
Karen just like is the like stereotype of like, may I speak to your manager? Mom haircut.
There's a guy version now.
Karen.
Kyle.
Have
you seen Kyle?
No.
He drinks Monster Energy drinks. He punches holes in drywall.
So he doesn't speak to managers.
That's
he
a
yells
new
at
meme.
people.
Yeah. And I really want to see the wedding of Kyle and Karen. Somebody make that meme happen. Oh. If you can hear this, make that meme happen.
Kyle and Karen and their awful kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Oh no. Kyle,
every
Karen, kids.
Kyle I know in real life is like super cool and nice. So
sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, every Kyle I know is awesome too. That's terrible. He should be named Chad.
Chad is a good one.
Chad and Karen.
Chad already has an online connotation anyway.
Yeah, Chad wears salmon shorts.
Chad's a bro that gets chicks and makes incels unhappy.
All dad's money.
Yeah. And so
Chad.
So on this action-packed episode, we're going to close like we often close. Sherri, you have a top 10 list inspired by real events.
I do. Let me put my glasses back on.
She's really classing up the joint with these glasses.
So I was inspired to make a list of the top 10 comments you never want to hear about your restaurant. You know, in response to all that rigmarole. So this is a long one, guys. You ready? Settle in.
Was it a top 50?
Well, no, it's a top 10, but it's very detailed.
Top 10 paragraphs.
I went and researched, and I found some amazing comments about restaurants that I thought I would share with you guys. Okay? So you ready? Number 10. If you arrive at the right time and order off the special menu, you can get a happy ending with the purchase of a bottle of Boone's Farms Strawberry Fields.
Oh.
Zoinks.
That's number 10. Yoink. Number 9. This is a really nice atmosphere despite the double murder-suicide of last year.
Ooh, yeah, it's probably
doomed. Don't want to hear that about your restaurant. When I questioned my bill, this is number 8. When I questioned my bill, the very polite server explained that the surcharges were for every time she had to explain a menu item to me, or I said, "Would you mind if?" or "Can I be a huge pain and ask?"
Ooh, sounds like that one may have been ripped from the headlines.
Welcome to the Karen Inn.
Number 7. I would have been pleased to share my leftovers with my waiter, but he ate all the fries off my plate as he waited for me to pay my bill.
Just gotta wait till you're in the back to do that.
Yeah, you gotta walk away from the table. I mean, be smart about it. Number 6. I couldn't discern if it was an American or African cockroach on my salad. Well, that was an interesting comment.
I would rather have one exotic.
That's really specific.
Number 5. When my child was injured by a kitchen knife throwing incident, the staff quickly cleared the prep table in the kitchen and triaged his gaping wound with precision and care. His staph infection, however, did not clear up.
Wait, you thought of these or you found these?
Oh, I found these.
Wow. Either way, it's scary because I don't want to be around the mind that thinks of that. I think I am, aren't I?
Number 4. The owner neglected to change the tablecloth after having sex on our table. While we enjoyed the entertainment, we were left unsatisfied.
I'll still eat the crab legs. I don't care.
Number 3. How quaint that this restaurant has created an outside tent city for all their undocumented employees.
Tent city.
Shantytown.
Number 2. I will be back. Grandma kept holding on for life and my inheritance until one evening dining with you. The hospital staff claimed it was the kind of food poisoning you could only expect on a cruise. 1 million, give or take. Thank yous.
Wow.
Killed Grandma.
Maybe she had it coming.
I think she did.
This is very thorough.
Number 1. You guys ready? My number 1 favorite comment.
No, but okay.
That I found. I was especially pleased to find this pet-friendly cafe with plenty of rodents for my feline friend to indulge in while I ate my dinner. Sadly, my cat disappeared from the dining room somewhere before dessert.
General Chow's kitten.
That's an easy fix. You just turn your place into a cat cafe.
A cafe.
So those were some of the interesting comments I found about restaurants online.
All right. Well, we really mined the well on this one.
Yes, we did. Mining the well.
It's a mixed metaphor. I'm Dennis Twigg.
I'm Randy Goldstein.
I'm Sherri Hausfeld Joseph.
See ya.